like to ask you a question that is probably a bit personal, but I hope to get an answer. So, what is your personal feeling about life? Is it about chance? Is life about chance? Is everything that happens around us just an expression of forces that we cannot control or understand anything? Or do you sometimes get the feeling that there is some bigger planet behind it? I don't ask if you believe in God, please understand me right. But this is a very important question, I believe.
Absolutely agree with you. I'd suggest the following thing, because next question is right here. You can think for a moment, because it's a very heavy question. We will listen to the next one, is that okay? And then we will enter.
The question was what I feel about life?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, about the first one, I'm still thinking. I will think all my life what I think about life, and then I will die before I have the answer. But you know, I guess as everybody else, I think life. I conceive life and I experience life in a very intense and sometimes joyful and amazing, shockingly beautiful way. And sometimes I feel that what we are doing here, that there's no way out, and I feel terrified sometimes about our human nature. Not blaming anybody but myself, worry about myself being sometimes human, just seeing and feeling and hearing and seeing all the things that are happening in the world. It's frightening when you have kids. I think you develop more fears and thoughts and questions, and so I question myself a lot, and so I try, I think, sometimes through films to exercise and throw my fears or my experience or my emotions through that experience, which I think it's a way to be safe in my own island, inventing or creating or controlling that thing that I feel like have a little bit control. If you can have control in a film, sometimes not, but at least I pretend to have control. And then sometimes I return to life and I feel nice, but then again, fears appear, and the way we are living now and the things that are happening in the world, sometimes I'm not pessimistic. I'm just saying that I think it's a light shadow state continuously. Or as Oscar Wilde said, a pessimistic is optimistic, well-informed. And I think that I'm that kind of pessimistic, if that can be conceived as pessimistic. So is what I conceive about life. About the second question of why they live there. Well, basically, there's this, they lost a child, this couple. And when that happened, obviously there's a lot of guilt, a lot of blame to each other when you don't recognize and you don't accept that thing. And they are trying to save their marriage. That's what I thought. And they are going to a faraway country just to be away and to be alone again, to an exotic place that he considers an exotic place. And she's not comfortable there. She's a beautiful place. It's just that she's not comfortable with him and with herself. And they haven't had the time to really confront some situation that hasn't been confronted. And the reason that they leave the kids with the nanny is because that's the reality of more than 5 million women or more in the United States that leave the kids with Mexican or Latin American nannies. I mean, I live in LA, and I have just, I know by fact that most of these kids are being nurtured by Latin American nannies, which are fantastic, which are very maternal, very lovable, and they are really, really beautiful people, that they leave their kids to take care of the other kids in order to send money to the other kids. And this is a person that has been working with them a long time. She see them, as she said, I saw them, when they were born. I feed them, I play with them, I give them breakfast, lunch, dinner, I play with them. She's the real mother. I always say that American woman should never be so free. The revolution of American women is based on Latin American nannies, because if not, they will never be working. It's true, they work because they have nannies. And the kids, American kids, speak perfectly Spanish, or understand at least, because that's their second language. So that's a reality. Unfortunately, there was something. Amelia, for me, is a woman that has been always putting everything behind her. Everything is more important than her. And for the first time, she made a decision to take the chance to go to the wedding of her son. Unfortunately, these people are sometimes very ignorant. It's ignorance what really drives her to get those kids in the other territory without knowing about papers. But she does it like in a good way. She's not doing nothing wrong. So, she's just victim of that thing that is happening in the borders, that you cross a little line and then you're in danger, and you are dangerous. And, that's kind of what is behind my brain doing this. But what I want to say is that that's something that happens very often in the United States. My neighborhoods, by the way, they have 2 nannies, and they travel a lot to New York, and the kids are there with the nannies, and they are happy. I hope that they don't have a wedding. And we stayed for 5 months and a half in Morocco. So at the end, this town that we shot most of the film, they were really happy to having us there. In a way that we were like a circus. They were having fun seeing us, and they were seeing for the first time an helicopter landing in their lives. And all the town was working with us, and all of them were extras, so they were playing like kids. I bring my kids to the town, and my kids were playing with the kids in town. So, and they didn't understand each other. So suddenly you make a connection that when you take out that barrier of the other, or you look at that face of that guy, he's for sure a terrorist or whatever stupid thing that's crossing our mind, and you suddenly became friends with them. We have to break those things. It was hard, it was intense, it was difficult, but at the end you break that thing. You are able to really connect in a human perspective as kids in a way, and see the things or objectives. And the same in Japan. All the girls that surround the character, they were deaf Japanese girls. And they didn't, not only that I don't speak Japanese, but less deaf Japanese sign language. And anyway, we laughed a lot. So in a way, I think you understand that emotions doesn't need translation. And the eyes and the hands and things like that, it's like kids communicate, which is the primitive, basic thing. So I never had a big problem with that, to tell you the truth. I felt very comfortable living in all these places without any problem. And the second question she asked me about what I'm trying to achieve emotionally in the films, creating emotion and intensity. If I'm right, what you were trying to say. And I said, I feel that finally for me a film should have, or should achieve in a way some catharsis, some emotional movement, in order that it doesn't just get, I think they have to be entertaining films. I hope that you were entertained today, and that you follow something and you feel excited, but at the same time I feel there has to be some questions to be thrown there, and those questions should move some emotions inside in order to speak in that level, not only intellectually but emotionally. Because if not, it's just a decorative piece and that's it. And so I'm trying to achieve all the time that. I like to move emotions, yes, that's an objective. And I like to observe people in circumstances that brings them the best or the worst in some cases. And I like to observe humanity in that thing, because it's when we come for real. So that's what I'm trying to achieve.